Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another Create a Sim for the Disney Save. Today we have a bit of a bonus video to kind of correspond with the last video that I put out, and that is of course Tia Dalma, aka Calypso from Pirates of the Caribbean. She is going to be a townie for the Disney Save, so we had to go ahead and add her before we leave Willow Creek, and we're going to be making her today. This is actually the last sim that I made on the stream, which is kind of a good thing. It's a little bittersweet, obviously. I had to take a break from streaming so that I could focus on getting ahead of schedule in some of my videos and things like that while I move and go on a couple of different trips and start a new job potentially. So there's quite a bit of things going on for me, and I decided that it would probably be a good time to take a break from Twitch and streaming. But this was the last sim that I got to work on together with chat, and it was just a really nice one, I think, to finish off with. It was super fun to do. She is a townie, so she doesn't get like the whole featurette that they normally do when I go in a little bit more depth with my main sims and pick out like jobs and all of that kind of stuff. But of course she always gets her aspiration, her traits, and all of that. And one of the big debates between chat and my patrons and just in general was what kind of a cult would she be, because of course it doesn't really make a lot of sense to just leave her as a normal sim. I am making her as a normal sim in today's video, but it's actually really easy to just sort of change any sim into an occult later on. It's literally one cheat. So the options were spellcaster and mermaid, and honestly I could see the argument for either, so I ended up running a poll on Patreon to see what my patrons picked, and spellcaster won by a little bit. So she has been decided to be a spellcaster, so that is going to be her only form really, because spellcasters don't have another form. Although I kind of wish that they did, because when I have wanted to do ones in the future, like I think of the evil queen from Snow White, it would be really nice to be able to do maybe two forms, one that looks like one version of her from the movie and then one that looks like the other one, or her like queen version and her more evil witchy version. So I do think about that kind of stuff later down the line, that it would be nice for this occult to function like all of the other ones do, where you can have the other form to it. But for this, it just made it a little bit easier to create her, because she's going to look exactly like she normally does any other time. She doesn't really have a second form. So of course I'm obviously basing her after her actress, and I don't really get that opportunity very often, because a lot of the times I'm using character models and screenshots from animated movies and sometimes video games where you get that little 3D kind of effect to the character. So occasionally I do get to make a live action character and actually do like more of a replication of a celebrity, which is kind of nice. Although her eyebrows are quite a bit different in the movie, and they have put some very heavy makeup on Tia so that she has these like very deep dark set eyes. One thing that we really don't have in The Sims is kind of like makeup that's a little bit more smudged and dripping. So she has like dark lipstick, black lipstick that is kind of faded. It almost looks like it's missing a little bit in the middle, and then it's kind of like down her face a little bit, as well as the eyeliner and the eyeshadow that she sort of has. It's sort of like dripping down her face in a way that I wasn't really going to be able to replicate. In some scenes in the movie, she also wears some face paint that was very specific. So I tried to find one that I felt like somewhat matched it. The one in the movie is like white dots a little bit underneath her eyes and on her chin just a little bit, but it was very subtle and light, and a lot of the ones that we have in game are just extremely heavy. So we ended up going with the Realm of Magic kind of glittery one, and I went and changed it to make it mostly black, and it kind of has that subtlety to it that I really wanted, and still has like something intricate and interesting to add to her face that is at least reminiscent of what you would see in the movie. But that is something, again, that I think for CC it would be super helpful. And then for her clothes, this was a very tough one, because in the movie she essentially wears like a period appropriate dress that's very rundown and raggedy and almost like muddy, and scraps of like leaves and twigs are sticking out of it, and it's just nothing like, we don't have anything like that in the Sims 4 cast catalog, those clothes that are like really raggedy and run down. So the best that we could really do is just kind of match up the general shape by maybe giving her something that's just similar in structure with the off the shoulder. It's also corseted, so I really wanted to accentuate the waist area, and then keep the colors the same with some red and brown and tan tones. And I know that was really quick, but that is Tia Dalma. Let me know what you thought of her in the comment section down below. If you would like to support the Disney Disney Save on Patreon, you can do so by clicking the link in my description box down below or the one at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post, and I will talk to you all in the next one.